Hello and welcome to Business Owners Unite, the podcast where we explore the challenges, successes, and lessons learned from those who have navigated the exciting yet complex world of business ownership. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, this podcast is for you to help, inspire, and guide you on your business journey. So let's get started and unite the world of business owners, one story at a time.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Business Owners Unite podcast. I am your host, Kyle, and today we have a special guest, Nicolette. Do I say Wijers? I just want to make sure I'm saying it.
It's Wijers. That's okay. Wijers is Wijers.
Well, I've known you for years as well, so I really should know how to say that. Just for those who are listening and might not know what it is that you do you mind giving us a quick rundown in terms of your business and then a bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Well, as you can hear, I'm originally from Holland. We all got a bit of a different accent here. So, and I've been in Australia. I'm in Australia now for the last 16, 17 years. So I used to be in the luxury hotel business, but we'll talk about that later. That's not what I do right now. And transformed and changed into become my own business owner and entrepreneur probably about 8 years ago now. So yeah, just wanted to change and wanted to, have the control in my own hands. So what I do now is really helping business owners and successful leaders to go to the next level and really see what their blocks are, what they're struggling with. And just it's a real emotional clearing as such as well. With that means that you can take away the restrictions, which are big conditioned from your family, from the past, from other people, and really understanding what it means for you to step forward in your business, in life, and how to find that balance.
Oh, that's awesome. I definitely agree that mindset is everything when you're running a business. It's very difficult to get out of your way. And you don't realize a lot of the time that it's you that's holding yourself back from growth or from, taking that step into the direction that you want to go. So having somebody who can help you get rid of those blocks or at least address them, I think is so important. I had a great conversation with Steve Plummer, who on the Sunshine Coast, talking a lot about how the way you speak to yourself is super important. And a lot of people don't realize the voice in their head might be quite negative or quite self-limiting. And you don't, I guess, work through that until you address it. You work with a professional like yourself who goes, look, here are some healthier frameworks or some healthier ways that you can talk to yourself to make sure that you're not stopping yourself from living the life that you want to live and creating the business that you want to create.
Absolutely. And I think to go next level in your business and in life, you need to become somebody else. You can't be the same person if you want to get different results. And that sounds really deep and big, but that is what it is. And people work on the business, but they don't work on themselves. And that is the main reason that people stay stuck, because they don't know how to work on themselves and what to do and where to get started.
So true. Yeah, absolutely. And it is challenging because I think that running a business, it's an extension of yourself. And if you are disorganized, you struggle at returning people's messages, you really struggle to show up, you procrastinate a lot, that's going to reflect in your business. Your business is going to suffer as a result of those characteristics or those traits that maybe you weren't aware were hindering you in your life. So I really like how you said you have to step into being a different person. That's kind of how we evolve as humans. And that's how we evolve as business owners or entrepreneurs as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in terms of what it is that you do, could you maybe walk me through a little bit of like, how does it work? Like you obviously would be doing some form of coaching, but how do you start? And then how do you kind of like work with a business owner to kind of get to that next level? I'm really curious.
Thank you. Yeah, I've developed my own methodology and my own toolbox. I always say we multi-dimensional beings. So it's not one shoe fits all, because that's just not how we work. Besides, women are different than men, but also everybody is different. We've got a different soul blueprint.
Yeah.
So we're all completely different. And that's also related to your business. We want to achieve different things. We see success differently. So it is bespoke and tailor-made because it is for you. But there's a framework which is kind of general, what works for 99% of the people and humanity, of course. So these are the tools. That's probably the coaching part of like explaining how you can implement those tools in your business and in your life. But then also what is really important is really the bespoke part is diving deep into who you are and who you
Mm,
want to be and what is the next you and what is the nest level of you looking like if that's what you want to do. So we take you
yeah.
to where you are now, really understand, ask really deep questions and understand what it is that drives you, but also what stops you. And understanding those blocks and those values and passions is then how you then create the plan to move forward. Because as soon as you
Very nice.
remove the blocks, that opens the path, the expansion and the evolvement. Because you can't evolve,
Yeah, gotcha.
grow when you have those blocks still. And people always want these big, end result and this big breakthrough. But sometimes it's the little steps what actually gets you the big boom towards the end. And it's not the end, it's the consistent journey. We're growing all the time. So that is
Yeah,
what the beauty is. And that's why it can't be just a cookie cutting program or anything like that, because you are not the same person as you were yesterday, not where you were last week or last month, and not even alone like last year. We all evolve.
yeah,
But if you get to a point that you don't evolve because you get stuck, and this is when the blocks come up and, the walls come up and you don't know what to do anymore. But working through
yeah.
them is a methodology, but it's also personalized.
Very nice. Well, that's really cool. I guess it makes me wonder, like, what are the main problems that people would come to you with? Like, what do you find that people do have blocked? If there was a way that you could stereotype it, I know everyone's different, but I imagine that there's probably commonalities between different people, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you find in your experience that
Yeah.
people tend to have challenges with?
Oh, absolutely. The One of the main ones is probably like overwhelm and the feeling like I need to do it all and I've
Yeah,
got so much to do. It's my big to-do list. So the overwhelm, the main problem as well is then the next question is where to start. So how do I start? Where do
yeah,
I start? And I think it's the anxiety what a lot of people have had built up in their lifetime, of anxiousness. There's a lot
yeah,
of fear still out with business owners, uncertainty in the future, what is going to happen, especially after the last year, couple of years, what we have experienced, of course. The
for
fear
sure.
is ultimate high, but the fear is
Yeah,
also the lowest frequency. And I go a bit deep maybe now, but it's the lowest frequency of energy you can be in. So people don't have the energy.
yeah.
They tired, they're exhausted, they're not
Mm,
motivated, they're not passionate anymore because they're in that fear of what is next, or what do I need to do? And if you come out of
yeah,
that fear and those negative emotions and you actually understand what it means to have the clarity and the passion again and the drive to move forwards, you shift in energy levels. So you get more energy. And
yeah.
quite often say, I don't know how you do it. You do everything. You're always everywhere. But it is the
I can attest to that, yeah.
and I can't do it all, but I choose what I want to do and what I can do. But there's moments that I go like, stop. And I need to recharge as well. And I think it's really important that we
Yeah,
understand the signs when we need to recharge and say no. And saying no is very powerful. But we're
yeah,
afraid
yeah,
that we miss out on something if we say no because we think, oh, there might be a client, I better say yes. And that's something actually powerful to understand. And that's when you need the clarity first to get that energy,
definitely.
the clarity.
So true, Nicolette. I couldn't agree more. I think that there's so many times where I've said yes to projects based on, like, that fear of missing out, or that fear of, like, well, if I don't say yes to this, like,
Mm.
there's not going to be somebody else. So I have to say yes. And it's not a good place to be. But if you come from a place of playful joy, or like you're in a better state, those types of things, you go, look, I really want to help, but unfortunately this isn't probably the right fit for me. How about I point you to somebody else who can help with that? And if you do have the right fit, and it's like, this is something that I'm definitely passionate and excited to take on, and you can do a good job. I think you're coming from a great place, and you're much more, you're gonna kind of multiply that good energy, aren't you? Because it's just kind of a matter of you're taking on the right thing and you're channeling that, and it just kind of helps in multiplying that positivity or that good vibes. I don't know, good vibration.
But and what you mentioned, like the joy and the happiness and the vibration that rises, so the energy levels go up. And when you then love what you're doing and you're working with people you want to work with, but also if I recommend somebody and said, well, maybe we're not perfect, but I know so many people because, as you know, I'm quite well connected with lots of people.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And I love
That's an understatement. Yeah.
that. And I love people connecting people because that helps me as well because people will come to me with a problem.
Yeah,
I might not be the person to help them, but somebody else can. But I also get the referrals back as saying, okay, well, if you need that, Nicolette is the woman to talk to. So it comes pretty
so true.
fast. And
Yeah,
when it comes more not from like an secrecy and like can't get the word out right now, but you come from an abundant place, and it's like all
yeah,
abundance. There's enough for all of us. So it's not
there
you
is
giving away your money and your business. No, not at all. It's actually extending and evolving your business in tenfold, and that's what people quite often
definitely
realize. Scarcity was the word I was looking for. And people live a lot more in
nice.
scarcity rather than in the abundance. And it's like we all
Yeah.
here to help and collaborate and work together. And that's what
Mm.
humanity will evolve into, and that's what the world is going to, and that's what we see. And it comes from the heart, and then you have so much more joy and happiness in your own life if you can help others.
So true. So true. Yeah. I've heard a great, I don't know if it's called a philosophy or what, but there's a term or a principle called ikigai, and it's a Japanese word. You know what it is? Yeah. So I'll explain it for the people who don't know. It's something that you're good at, something that the world needs, something that you enjoy or are passionate about, and something that can make you money. If you're in the middle of that, with all those four things, you found ikigai, you found like the dream job, you found your destiny or your purpose. And I think that that's something that as business owners, you um, you generally will start your own business for a reason, whether it's a need that you had in your own life, whether it was to get more freedom in your life, whatever. But we forget that we are the masters of our own destiny. We're able to steer towards that kind of sweet spot, and we get stuck in the day to day operations of doing what we think we need to do to keep our clients happy and to keep the business open. But if you're able to work with somebody like Nicolette, who can kind of make you realize that you are the person who can transform your life and become that person that you want to be and make your business what you want it to be, you can find that sweet spot. You can really design that lifestyle or that work life balance, find your ikigai. And that really, I think, if everybody could get there, man, imagine how amazing the world would be. And you do need to come from it from a mindset of abundance. Like there is enough for everyone. There is enough work that's going to come to you if you will open yourself up and allow that to happen. But if you're so focused on the fearful state of like and I'm guilty of this a lot of the time. It's not like I'm some type of Buddha here. It's like I'm human, and I struggle with this a lot. It's like you don't want to say yes to things that you don't want to do, but saying no does take a change in your mindset, which is probably what you help with, right?
And it's funny that you mentioned that book because I gave that to a friend of mine to read, and he just gave it back to me and he said, "I've got it now, so you can have it back and somebody else can enjoy it again." So it's
Oh,
very
nice.
yeah. So
That's
and that's
awesome. That's really cool.
principle. And one of my main things was as well, I wanted to know what my purpose was. And everybody is just talking, it's a big word. And what is purpose? I didn't even know what it meant deep inside of me.
Yeah.
What is actually my purpose? And it's a big question to ask, but that is what comes. And that's when you find that and you really embody that and you become that. That's when your life is changing. It's not just learning, it's
Yeah.
reading a book to start off quite often, the awareness, but it is also then really implementing that and being it and becoming it. And that's what I meant to become a different person because I always say it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And whatever that diet or lifestyle
Yes.
is for you, it's not always about eating. That's part of it, but it becomes a lifestyle. What is it, what you do and what you live? Yeah, that's big difference.
Absolutely. I think that's a great analogy for it as well, because so many people know that they want an output, but they don't think about the input. What is it that you have to put in to get that out, right? And if you want to be healthy, you want to have good health, You want to be, not overweight. You want to be, keep yourself in prime position or whatever. Um, it's really about changing your lifestyle. It's not about going on a diet, which is a short term, trend. You need to consistently show up, and you need to consistently make sure that what you're putting into your body is going to help you maintain that output. It's like going to the gym, right? Like if everybody could click a button and have a six pack, like everyone would have a six pack. But if that's your goal, you want to have like a great body, then you're going to have to put the work in. It means going for walks, going to the gym, eating well, sleeping well, probably giving up a lot of things like fast foods and, margarita Mondays or whatever. And, you need to look after yourself. And that really is kind of like you said, that's a lifestyle that you're adopting. It's not a trend. You're not going to go to the gym for 5 days and then suddenly voila, ripped bod, it's
And I
it's a
think,
lifestyle.
yeah, for me, it was as well, it's actually doing less. So decluttering and detoxification, and detox is
Nice.
not just your food, it's detoxing your body, mind, and soul, because that's all connected. And,
So true.
if you don't detox and don't do less and get less, you don't have space to put the good stuff back in. So you need to get rid of
So true.
the shit, I always say, before you can put the good stuff back in. And that's literally what it
Yeah.
is, because we are so toxic. Our environment is toxic, and we don't even realize our whole life. Just look around your house and look around your friends, look around your family, look
Yeah.
around food, products you use. Oh, I could talk for hours from that. It's like there's so much
Yeah.
detox or toxic stuff around us and in our lives, in our bodies, in our mind, our souls. And that's what you were talking about, the words you say to yourself, the words you speak,
Yeah.
how you feel, all these kind of things, all these negative emotions and toxic behaviors is just really what needs to change. In order, you need to get rid of that first before you can put all the good stuff in.
Agreed.
And that is the food and the right products to use on your skin, and all these kind of things, to hang out around with the right people, like-minded people. There's that big saying of you become the 5 people you hang out the most, spend the most time with, and hang out the most.
So
That
true.
is so true. And that
Yep.
is in everything in life. And I've seen that so many times when I've removed myself and said no to certain people, certain areas, certain places. I'm quite energetically in tune and very sensitive to
Mm.
certain things, but there's certain places on the earth I don't feel as well, and at certain places I feel a lot more alive. And that can be for example, it can be the beach, or it can be the mountains, but it also can be countries. Like spending a bit more time back home in Holland, that's definitely not my happy place anymore. But it was when I was younger, but definitely not now. It's just a whole energy in
Mm.
that. And I think that's what comes along with everything. You need to shift from another person. You need to shift in an environment what suits you. And you need to shift in the energy you want to become and be.
Very true. Oh, it's very profoundly wise there, Nicolette. I love it.
Mhm.
I think that's right. Like I think a lot of people, like we were saying before, struggle to say no, and that's not just in your business and the clients you take on. It's like the food that you eat, the people you surround yourself with, the products that you use, the time that you spend on certain activities. Everything in your life is a decision that you make in the moment, and you need to learn to say no to the things that maybe aren't aligned with your vision of what you want your life to be like. It's a lifestyle change, not a temporary diet. If you want to be more productive, maybe you choose to delete, certain apps off your phone. If you want to be healthier, maybe you choose to stop going to McDonald's or whatever it is. You have to make that lifestyle change in order to work towards those goals. So it's very this is great, I think.
And I think as well what it is, and it's always easy to say to do than to do. And that's including me. I
Yes.
will put my hand up as well. You need an accountability buddy. I always say you need somebody to work together with that, or in a group setting, or like one on one with a coach, or in a group supporting, because you're not alone. And we quite often feel alone because we're on this journey and we don't know what the next step is going to be. And then we fall
So
off the
true.
wagon as well and say, oh, it's too hard. Like it's all nice and well to say this is what I'm doing, but it is keeping that accountability. And I think that is what the support
Yes.
is, and the community is you building as a business. Because I always say, don't think like your business is just about you or the person who you help. It's the support. I don't work with people anymore who don't provide support afterward. It's not just the sell of a
Yes.
program, it's lifetime
Mm,
long friendship
yeah.
and relationship, whatever it comes out of it. And I mean that not
Yeah.
business contact, but they friends become your clients, clients become your friend. Your community changes as you
Definitely.
as a business owner as well. And I think we quite often so focused on the sale, which is important, not saying, but
Mm,
for me, it's really the sustainable success, the longer sustainable success as a lifestyle. And
agreed.
you might flow in and
Yeah.
out of each other's life, and you might see people not all the time, and you think, oh, I've lost my clients. Well, maybe not. Maybe they need somebody else at that time to get them to the next step, and they might come back again to you. That happens to me
Yeah.
often as well. And I think we just so focus quite often on the short term results and the success, but we don't think what the impact
Definitely.
of a long term relationship. And I think that's the best market
So true.
we're going to have. And I had a great
Yeah.
story I told last week is about something when I was still in staff member, an employee, but the impact I had on somebody quite famous, well known in Australia. And I saw him like 18 years later, and he was like, Nicolette, is that you? And then he still remembered what I did for him and how I made him feel. And we're
Wow.
still talking about the company
Wow.
works for Dan. And I'm like, that's the best marketing campaign ever. 18 years later, it still has its effect. It's not
Yeah.
with me, but it's
That's amazing.
sometimes underestimating yourself as a business owner or your team, what impact they actually have on other people. And sometimes it might be just planting the little seed or saying one word or a couple of sentences or a couple of
Mm,
minutes how you make people feel. But if you're not in a right spot in your life, you will get a negative impact on somebody. If you're in that great energy, you will get a positive energy. So how can we stay in that great energy
yeah.
consistently as long as much as yeah, as long as every day that we can? And I want to be there 24/7. That's not always possible. I'm human.
Yeah.
But how can we get the tools together to be there as often as we can be and as long as we can be? And that's what I've got a whole big
Yeah.
toolbox
Absolutely.
of tools that can keep you there as long as you can.
Yeah, and I think going back to an earlier point that you made, like birds of a feather flock together. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So by hiring somebody to keep you accountable, by working with a coach, by working with others, you're actually choosing who you surround yourself with, and you get to. You might have to exchange money because that's just an energy exchange, isn't it? They're providing you value, accountability, a whole bunch more in exchange for your money. But at the same time, you're choosing who you get into your flock, so to speak. You're getting that person next to you to kind of be like, look, here is the person I want to become. And I believe that you are the right person to have in my circle to help me become that person. And, just like anything in the world, it is kind of an exchange of value. It's an exchange of energy. So I definitely think that by working with somebody like yourself, by working with somebody who can help you align with those goals, it's super important. And it is long term, right? Like you want people that are going to stay in your tribe, like not just kind of like transactional, that's it. You want people who are invested in your success, invested in your story, and invested in your life. But it's not everyone that will do that, I think.
Well, it's funny. I've just come off a call earlier today, and I've actually hired my next coach for me to bring 2024 to my next level because it's always
Nice.
somebody else
Mm.
who can bring me more than what I am now and who I am and what I bring in my
Yeah.
business. So yeah, it's just I've had a
Good
coach
stuff.
since I was like 8, was my speed skating coach. So
Coaches are important. Yeah.
it's
Everyone
like
should
it
have a coach, right?
starts with everything, It's like I was
Yeah.
this little girl
Yeah.
and I'm like, what do I need with a skating coach? That's what I was doing at the time. And at the end I didn't win the gold medal, but I was like in the national. So it's like from a young age, I understand. And quite often it is your parents who are your coaches at the time and all that stuff. But it's like it's so
Yeah.
important to
Incredible.
lift each
Nice.
other and put your hand up and say, yes, I want to get to the next level. How do I do that? Have you done that? Right.
Yeah.
Learn
Well,
from you. Beautiful. Where can you take?
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And I think it's really good to know that people can work with you to kind of help get to that next level. If there are people who've been listening, who are interested in talking to you and getting your help to keep them accountable, get them to that person that they want to become, how can they reach out to you? What's kind of the next steps in their journey?
Yeah, I do an interview process because I don't work with just everybody. As I just said before, I say no to quite a few people as well, but then make sure that I can recommend somebody else what might be a better fit as well. Um, I normally do a 6-month program minimum, but for this way, because a lot of people might not know me, haven't heard about me, don't know, just met me now at the first time. I'm happy to offer a special free session as well. So if they just get in contact with me, I've got a beautiful
Perfect.
special for a very, very normally about $3,000 for 3 sessions with me, and I will do it for $495 as a very, very special. I've never done this before at all.
Wow.
What I said, I normally do the 6-month programs. But just because I know you so well, and I want to give the opportunity to other people to get to know me a bit and say, this is for me, this is not for me. If it's not for them, that's great. Great 3 sessions. And if it's not what they want, they don't get the results. If they want, they can do more work with me, and they can refer me on to others as well. So I just want to give
Perfect.
special, but also to start 2024 like with a bang and just be really clear what you want.
Yeah.
Those 3 sessions, we dive really deep into that.
Yeah.
Great. What is your plan? What do you want to get into 2024 and how can we make that work?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great offer for the new year because I think that so many people will come out of this having some time off, getting to reflect on where they're at, where they want to go. And like we said, you need birds of a feather, right? You
Yeah.
need to find somebody who can keep you accountable. So that's a great offer, Nicolette. I'll make sure that we drop the information for our listeners to be able to take advantage of that. A very generous offer. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today, Nicolette. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Before we wrap, though, I wanted to quickly go through some quick fire questions, if that's all right with you. Are you happy for me to go through those?
Of
Are you
course.
ready?
Already.
Awesome. Well, I think it's very suitable to what we've actually talked about. But the first question is, what's your practice or ritual of looking after yourself?
Oh God, you need another hour for that. Um, no, I actually start straight away with meditation in the morning. I do like in hot water with lemon, ginger, and turmeric cleanse from the inside
Oh,
out.
okay.
I have a yoga practice or a workout as like going for a walk, not going to the gym. I vary it all the time. It's a bit different all the time. Um, but then I get first in the morning, I get a lot of the downloads of what I need to do. So start working on my business straight early in the morning. I'm an early bird. I'm
Yep. Nice.
3 things on my list for the day to get done. If I get more things done, that's great. But those 3 are just a must have.
Excellent.
Write down my gratitude, but at the end of the day, I write down what was the best thing at the end of the day for the day. And I think you always need
I love
to
that.
celebrate
Yeah.
as well. That's the celebration part we quite often forget. Just
Nice. Yeah.
happy and grateful for.
That's really cool, Nicolette. I think a gratitude journal is like the best thing you can do, I think, to build resilience and a positive outlook. That kind of actually answers my next question. So that's great. I was going to ask you, what's your best productivity life hack for your business? How do you get stuff done?
Can't find it right.
Writing 3 things down, I thought was like, I was like, oh, she's answered this one already.
Well, it's I've got a timer now, but it's this. Just turn it around and then have a little break.
Oh,
And
nice.
I've actually started doing it on my computer now. So it's 25 minutes of work and 5-minute break. And then I actually
Yep.
do 25 minutes of a personal thing. So that might be quickly putting the washing on or doing the dishes or whatever it might be. And then have another 5-minute break and then go 20 minutes at work again. Unless I'm in a client
I love
session,
that.
of course, that doesn't work because that guy's longer. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Sorry, I need a break.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that really
Yeah.
makes
Awesome. Yeah.
the productivity is gone up sky high.
Totally. Yeah, I've actually used that myself. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Pomodoro technique. Does that sound right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. No, that's a great life hack. And the last question for you is, what piece of software could you not live without? So what's something in your business that you would recommend we all use?
I've just moving all my apps, systems, everything over to one app.
Oh yeah.
It's a white labeled app. It's called Go High Level, and it's just everything
Oh yeah.
there.
Go high level. Nice.
Yeah, so it's everything is in
Yeah.
from like your CRM to your
Perfect.
landing pages, your website, to your payments. Everything is in there. Your emails, email marketing, everything is in there. So I'm still moving that all over as we speak right now. That needs to be finished by the end of this year. And I think it's just,
Nice.
as you know, I'm not a real tech girl, but a lot of women are not as technical as the men are, if I can generalize that. So for me to have that one, but still have somebody else, we've still got a guy who can help me with all that stuff, but just putting that together on one, but for me to easily change things and for me to understand that
Perfect.
what
Yeah.
I'm doing is great.
Good stuff. Go high level is fantastic. That's a great tool, I think, for every business owner.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Nicolette, for answering those questions. That's been really insightful. I think it's helped a lot of our listeners, hopefully, get some extra tips. So I just wanted to say thank you again for joining us on the podcast today. Thank you everyone for listening. Where can people go to learn more about you? I know that you have a great offer, but what's your website and socials that they can follow you on?
Yeah, I'm just in the process of uploading that all on that new app. So it is a bit of
Oh,
a transition, but you can go into nicolettewijers.com. And of course,
perfect.
you can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook as well, Nicolette Wijers.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Nicolette. That's been so valuable for all of us. I've learned a lot as well. So really appreciate it. And all the best.
And I just want to mention, if people want that special, just as make the password or let me know that it is social gigs and that we're here on the podcast. Business owners, you like the
Perfect. Yeah.
podcast, so
That's,
then we know. Yeah.
yeah. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Nicolette.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Business Owners Unite. Thank you for spending this time with us and being a part of our growing community of entrepreneurs. If you liked what you heard, please show your support by subscribing and leaving a review on your platform of choice. Your feedback helps us grow and continue to bring you valuable content. Remember, your business journey is unique, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories in our upcoming episodes.